Right, so we are live on YouTube. Welcome everyone that's seeing us on YouTube right now. Thanks for checking in. Of course, no one's jumped on yet, so we'll give them a second. Good. All right, so we'll give this a few more minutes. Hope everybody's doing well today. Man, I had to do this video recording for the Washington Winter Show. So for those that don't know, the Washington Winter Show it's a large event here, mainly antique and arts here in DC, and it's always been a venue-based event. And we're one of the beneficiaries. We receive about 30,000 from them on an annual basis, which is really quite good. And it always used to flow through the Founders Board, but since the Founders Board is essentially merging and dissolving, they are working with us directly, which is great. Well, they've taken everything virtual, which is really cool. It could be bigger this year because now they can bring in dealers and people from across the entire country. So excited to see where that goes, but they're asking for different promo videos, and so I had to do a recording, and I just was so tongue-tied multiple times. I had to record it so many times, it's crazy. But I guess these are world problems. I finally got it done, which was good. All right, keep it another minute or so.
God, that's okay. Get to it.
So we're supposed to have it on now.
And just a reminder, if you're not intending to talk to us right now, you just might want to put yourself on mute. When we get started, I'll mute everybody. And we are live on YouTube, which is great. Cool. Good. All right. Let's see how many people we got here. Participants 28. Okay, we're getting up there. Good. And this is going to be a special one. I'm excited about this because we get to honor Adela for her work, her career with St. John's. So we'll do that later in our town hall, but it's going to be a very special time. So Precious, when you hosted, did you how was it for you with all the moving stuff, like your notes, different emails? Like I'm always finding I have a ton of stuff I'm trying to keep track of.
Oh, I fully utilized my resource, and that resource was Ryan and Sandra. They were my wingmen in the corner, and so when stuff was going wrong, they were hooking me up on that side chat.
Yeah.
Personally to me, when I lost my notes, my whole phone shut down because I had my phone set up with my notes, the things I was supposed to cover, actually your notes, and and I lost it. But then they loaded it quickly. They were like stage production 1, stage production 2, camera number 1, camera number 2. So they held me together. It was crazy though.
It is a lot. Like there's a lot of pieces to it. I'm trying to figure out how to simplify it, but I haven't figured that out yet. So,
Well, we can take comfort in knowing that there is like 100 people behind the anchor,
oh
in
yeah,
front of the anchor person. So
absolutely.
we're coming in live, and we did it all with Ryan and Sandra at the helm. So they killed it. So
That's
without
awesome.
them, I probably would have looked a hot mess.
They,
But
yeah, no, they're awesome. Yeah, they're great. They're always anticipating needs, which is awesome.
yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, it's 2:36. So we'll get started and get rolling here. So again, just want to welcome everyone to Town Hall, August 7th. It's really hard to believe. I think we've been doing this now for, I want to say, almost 4 months. And it's really been a cool experience, I think, for all of us as a community. I know personally, I've really enjoyed hearing from people. I've enjoyed the opportunity to kind of share what's going on with St. John's. I've enjoyed, just coming together on a regular basis, So I think as we move into September, there's a chance we might adjust the day and go from a Friday to a Thursday. But I do think that we're going to keep this going on a weekly basis, just realizing that, it's a special opportunity for us to get together. So I think as long as we can have coverage when I can't be here or other people can't be here, we'll keep doing it. But I hope that you're finding value in it. I feel like I'm getting feedback outside of town halls, and then also inside and hearing from the leadership team that people are finding this to be a good opportunity. I'm just gonna mute everyone. Sorry, hold on. I need to find that before we get started. Here we go. You know. All right. So for now, I've muted everyone. Okay. Well, I want to start as we normally do, and that's just talking COVID and reflecting on the impact that it has had on the organization as well as that it continues to have. We are going to be living with COVID for a while. We all realize that as we see the statistics with everything reopening and the numbers increasing in a lot of places and having some hotspots in a lot of places. I just want to thank Precious. She pulls together, she's the one that's tracking our COVID data on a weekly basis as it's coming and reporting it on a weekly basis. So here's where we stand right now. We currently have 7 people that we support that have tested positive for the virus. That's 4 in Tennessee and 3 in Virginia. So we're starting to see a rise in Tennessee. Definitely a concern there. We knew that could happen. We certainly anticipated the risk was there as things started to reopen, and that we were going to have to continue to do our best there. So we have 7 people we support, and out of those 7, we have 1 person hospitalized, and that 1 person is in Virginia. So fortunately, we aren't seeing other hospitalizations at this point in time. And our thoughts and prayers are with the individual that is hospitalized currently in Virginia. And then we also have, right now, we've got 6 people that are team members, that are staff members that work with us, our fellow team members that have tested positive as well. That's 4 in Tennessee and 2 in Virginia. The good news is in Virginia, we've had 11 recover. Also in DC, if you recall, we had a couple people in DC testing positive last week that are in a better place this week. So that number's down to 0, but a total of 6 there. Fortunately, no hospitalizations for staff, which is good. Obviously with all of this, it carries a lot of weight. The protocols are very strict. When someone tests positive, we're basically locking people down. They're self-quarantining if they're staff, oftentimes away from family. For people that are hospitalized, they end up without the ability to visit their family and their loved ones being there to support them. So there's a lot there. And we certainly know that we've lost 2 individuals in Mo and Ahmed in Virginia that were our team members. And, so I am going to keep kind of asking all of us that even though we almost get used to having to live with COVID and navigate the pandemic, it's still a very real threat, and it's still a very real weight for the people that are affected by it and their families. And so I'd ask that we just take a second now to just reflect on that and hold them and our team members in our hearts and minds and thoughts and prayers. So if you would join me. Thank you. I want to keep, let's see, I guess I want to keep talking a little bit about kind of protocols and COVID and where to kind of from here. So as I mentioned, DC's returned to 100% negative. Tennessee numbers are continuing to rise. Delaware is and New York both remain stable with 0, which is good. That's a great thing. The Tennessee State DIDD is recommending agencies that encourage staff to be tested more often. And so, across all the jurisdictions where we have issues, we're going to continue to try to test as much as we can and to work through that. Because the COVID cases are climbing, particularly in Tennessee, we're seeing that right now. So we are working with the state of Tennessee to try to obtain testing kits and be able to roll that out for our staff there. And then, just some other news and notes. I think just want to reinforce the requirement for staff to wear masks during shifts to prevent the spread to each other. Okay, so I think we all know this by now, but just to keep restating it, the risk is each other. You have to almost take universal precautions in assuming that every person that you might come in contact with may have the virus. And so particularly for the people we support, the best way that we can protect them is by wearing masks when we are working on shift, as well as doing our due diligence relative to cleaning and sanitization. So please, it is a requirement to wear your mask when you are on shift and you are in support of the people that we care for and support and serve. So thank you for your compliance with that. A lot of them, as you know, are incredibly vulnerable and have underlying conditions. And so they're at higher risk, not just of getting the virus, but of having that go sideways on them and not having issues or even passing away as a result of that. Again, we've, I think, fared well compared to other providers. Certainly when I think of Harlan Morris and the fact that we haven't yet, to my knowledge, unless a couple of those Tennessee individuals are in Harlan Morris. I've heard Harlan Morris was good as of yesterday, I believe. So, but you think about the risk for those elderly individuals that reside in Harlan Morris, and the staff are still taking as many precautions as possible. So again, this is very real, and I urge you both to practice social distancing for yourself and your family. Be careful, wear masks, wear face coverings when you're out in public. Everything that we're seeing says that is the #1 way that we can slow the transmission and get control of this together as a country and as communities. And so as an organization, I'm asking that we each individually do our part. Whenever I'm going out, I've got my face covering, I'm wearing it. I'm trying to be as compliant as possible. I'm trying not to put myself in large groups. Those are all important steps. We're going to be with this for a while. This is the new normal. So I just urge you to press into it. At one day, this is going to be a story that we tell our children and I guess their grandchildren. We'll talk about the way that St. John's came through this virus and how we protected the lives of each other and the lives of the most vulnerable people we support because of the willingness to practice social distancing, wear masks, how people sheltered in place, how people worked 12-hour shifts. All of that is part of the formula to keeping the people we support safe. And so I just thank you for that and urge you stick with those protocols. They are making a difference. I think we should kind of coin the phrase goal zero, when we think about COVID. Like what a celebration and what a day it will be when I have 0 cases to report to you at this weekly town hall. And so let's work towards that day, because even though the virus is out there, striving for goal 0 is in our control. We can absolutely affect that change. We have affected change. We have affected the numbers not being higher because of our protocols. So let's keep at it and let's keep pushing towards goal 0. Today is a really great day. Because we are celebrating Adela Roll today. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about her later. We're actually going to have an opportunity to do an interview with her. But first, I wanted to actually just share my screen briefly because it's Frontline Friday. So I want to just kind of see if we can pull that up really quick and share. So Adela's been with us for 22 years, and everything that I've heard about Adela from others has been, she is basically a force of nature and has been for 22 years advocating directly for the people who we support and helping them live their best life. And so hopefully you can see this, if you can see this beautiful picture of Adela on our Facebook page today as we celebrate her 22 years of service and thank her for that. Obviously, it takes passion to be serving in that capacity for 22 years, and we just are so grateful for her. So I'm looking forward to talking to her, and we'll be doing that in the last part of our meeting today. But be sure to give her some love in the chat. Be sure to give her some love on our Facebook post, and just thank her for all that she's done. Let me stop share. And then also some good stuff going on in programs that I just want to make you aware of. First, we've got our third person coming into OASIS. This is the Homeless Youth Service Program in DC, and we've got our third referral. So we have capacity for 10 in the initial phase. COVID certainly has slowed down referrals, but already in the last 4 to 6 weeks, we've already gotten 2 more referrals. So we're going from 1 to 3. So I'm super excited about that. That is a big deal. And we're going to change the lives of youth that have been traumatized, youth that have been victimized and exploited, and often because of their sexuality or their gender identity, and the fact that they've been homeless. And so St. John's can stand in the gap and has a tremendous opportunity to affect change in the lives of these individuals and support them to better their lives. So we do that through stabilizing them, helping them with housing, and then we do that with wraparound services that allow them to access the resources they need to be able to move forward with their life in a way that you and I want to, right? So we're providing that and helping and empowering individuals to that end. So I'm super excited about OASIS and the third individual that's moving in there. And along those lines, just want to remind you, be on the lookout because we are doing a mini campaign, a micro campaign for OASIS. It's going to be our first campaign since our big Giving Tuesday Now campaign. So really excited. We're trying to aim to raise between $5,000 and $7,000. And those dollars are going to go to support furniture and household items, all the necessary things that individuals need as they move into their new place. So great, it'll be a great story to share. More of that will be coming out on social and digital. So be on the lookout and do what you did before. Like, share, comment, tell your story. Let people know that you're connected to St. John's and that we're making a difference in people's lives, and that whatever amount that they give is going to help make this person's life better that is in our OASIS program. And then just heard from Precious too, that the Estesada home in Tennessee is currently in production for becoming a smart home. And so as you know, we've been really pushing into enabling technology because it is about equality, it's about access, it's about opportunity for the people that we serve. For us, it might be about efficiency and convenience, but for the people we support, it's about giving them the keys to their life, right? And helping them move from the passenger seat to the driver's seat of the car. And so it's exciting. And so the ladies that are at that home are currently incredibly excited as they hear and learn about the enabling technology that's going into place there, that's going to help them gain more independence. And so that's the name of the game. And we're going to keep pushing in. You're going to hear some really exciting news, I believe, over the weeks to come as we creep up on the new fiscal year about different initiatives that are underway. And there's going to be a lot around this whole area of technology and innovation. And I'm really excited to be sharing that as we finalize those things and make those announcements in the future. Paycom, time for our Paycom update. So just want to, again, I think you can see this. I'm going to show you my screen here. I believe you can see that. And what will you notice? Either put it in the chat or take yourself off mute. What do you notice about my screen?
No alerts.
No alerts. What color are the alerts?
Of course, they'd be red bell.
Yes, right. So no alerts. Listen, it really has not been hard for me. And if I can figure this out, I'm pretty confident that you can. So you know, it takes some time. But I found that the Paycom University trainings have been really helpful. The resources are really helpful. I find that it's fairly sleek and pretty intuitive. You know, so please, first of all, you got to be involved with Paycom. We're not leaving anyone behind. We just rolled out a bunch of trainings or complete a bunch of trainings. We're getting ready to go live on the 10th. And I actually have an announcement, and I'm just going to pull that up just so that I make sure I say this correct, because there's some moving parts on this. So we are going to go live. The go live date for Paycom is the 10th of August. So that's right around the corner. That's 3 days away. So make sure before now and then, your assignment from me, okay, I'm asking you to do this, is to clear any of those red alerts, okay? So get rid of those, knock out those notifications. You should have, that should also be goal 0, okay? Goal 0 for COVID, goal 0 for Paycom notifications, all right? And then if there are staff that are working on the 9th, okay? So that would be Sunday night. Today's the 7th, so 8, 9, 10, yes. Yes, Sunday night. So if they're working Sunday night, overnight to Monday the 10th, okay? You need to clock out at 11:59 on the 9th, 11:59 p.m. on the 9th. And then you're gonna clock in for the first time in a Paycom on 8:10 at 12 a.m. So you got 1 minute, right, between that time. So you're in on ADP, and correct me if I'm wrong, Precious, but you're in on ADP on the 9th. At 11:59 p.m., you clock out. At midnight, 12 a.m. on the 10th, right? A minute later, you clock in for the first time at Paycom. And we're all going to celebrate that. That's going to be a big deal. And so that's huge. If you clock in anytime after 12 a.m., okay, then you're going to have to submit a punch change request, okay, to be clocked back to 12 a.m. So let's say you're working and for whatever reason you get distracted, you're doing your job, you can't clock in exactly at 12 a.m. and you end up clocking in at 12:05 or something like that, or 12:10. Well, you're going to have to submit a punch change request, okay, to move that back to 12 a.m. All right. That will go to your supervisor to approve, and then the time card will be corrected. All right. There will be no manual edits conducted, all right? So this is totally electronic. You're gonna do it on the app, okay, just as you've been trained on the app to do it, all right? So really important that we follow through on that. So just to recap, 8-9, Sunday 8-9, I'm an employee that's working a shift overnight in a residence, and I'm already clocked into ADP at 11:59. I'm clocking out of ADP, and I'm saying bye to ADP forever. And then at 12 a.m., on Monday morning, the 10th, I am clocking in at Paycom and saying hello to a bright future. Okay, so that's what's happening. And if I'm unable to do that, I miss that deadline, and I clock in anytime after midnight, then I'm going to have to submit a punch change request through my supervisor through the app. Okay, because I know that there'll be no manual edits. All right, so that's Paycom. And again, let's leverage this to the fullest extent that we can. Let's make this absolutely the greatest implementation that we have ever done at St. John's. Okay, that's a goal for us. All right, so we can do it. This group has overcome so much together, so much challenge and adversity and change. And in the midst of a pandemic, we've tackled changing our payroll system. And we are doing that because we know that we have the team that can do it. So thank you for being part of that team, and thank you for your commitment to making this a better organization because of it. All right, let's see where I am here. Just update on the Ally Initiative that I've been referencing. We are going to set our first meeting for the week of the 17th of August. So that's coming up. And before then, I will send an email out just thanking the members of the volunteers, the staff that have volunteered to be on that committee. Just tightening down the day. It's either going to be the 17th, 18th, or 20th. But that's coming. And then that'll be our first meeting, which will define kind of the parameters and the goals of what we're trying to look at as we try to look at expanding diversity and inclusion and equity within the organization, and then looking externally, how do we support our fellow team members? How do we support the causes we believe in relative to equality and equity in the communities that we serve? And so I'm really excited. This is a great group. It's a great diverse group, and I'm excited to see where this goes. And then we'll probably have them volunteer in this capacity for 6 to 9 months, and then bring some other people in to keep building on their work and helping us get better in this area. In a couple of weeks, you're absolutely going to want to tune in for Town Hall. As I mentioned before, on the 21st, August 21st, we all are going to get to bear witness and see Cherie Young and Steve Sims get married. They're two SJCS team members, and they're part of our family. And we are thrilled that they've invited us to celebrate their marriage with them. They're a phenomenal love story, frankly. It's almost like they were on a collision course with each other. And so now we're going to get to join with them and celebrate that during Town Hall. So that's going to be, I think, one of the most historic, memorable moments that we'll ever have. For those of you that don't know Cherie or Steve, which I frankly would find it really hard that anyone would not know, Cherie works here in DC, helps head up all the staffing coordination. And then on top of that, Steve is our director of nursing out of DC. So both of them play critical roles. So imagine they have touched so many lives here across the entire organization, either directly or through their mentorship and support. But both of them bleed St. John's and just love St. John's and want to have us join with them. So August 21st, 2 Fridays from now, really, really excited. It's going to be memorable and an event you will not want to miss. During this time as well, we are also going through budgets. So summer equates right now to budget season. And this is our time. We're always thinking about changing. One of the things about St. John's is it's a very innovative organization. At key points through our history of 151 plus years, we have identified what the community needs are, and we've adjusted and adapted and changed and innovated in order to be able to better meet those needs. And so anytime you roll out a budget, a new fiscal year budget, it's a time to really like take the thinking, that planning, that strategizing, and like push it into the budget, which funds those initiatives, right? And it's a time to present to the board and to present to you all at Town Hall kind of what you should expect, what's going to happen, and like start to evolve and unfold during 2021. So fiscal year. So our fiscal year starts in October. So the leadership team, managers at all levels throughout the organization are working very hard at pulling together plans for the budget, for our strategic planning and strategic initiatives and investments that we're going to make. One of the things we want to do, we've done really well at trimming costs, or we've done well at identifying areas that are struggling from a financial profitability standpoint or viability standpoint. And so that's a good thing. We're going to always continue to do that. Every good organization and business is always looking at that. And if they can't turn things around, they have to make difficult decisions. We're always going to be doing that. At the same time, though, we are in a place where we're going to start making, and we have started making some investments, some strategic investments in capacity building so that we can advance our mission and touch more people over time. That's what it's all about. So really excited about that. An example of that is happening in our development and marketing team right now. You were introduced to Bessie Thibodeau Belcher, our new Chief Development and Marketing Officer, a couple of weeks back. And she is rounding out her team as well. And we will be bringing on about at least another position and a quarter next week, which we're really excited about. So we'll be introducing them to you at Town Hall and explaining kind of what the whole team function is, because we understand that marketing and development is fairly new over the last year and a half, the way we've been running it at St. John's. And so you probably want to and need to understand, how does it fit within the concept of St. John's, the structure of St. John's? What is the difference between marketing and what's the difference of fundraising? Because they're two very different functions. And marketing is about brand awareness. It's about building our point of view and getting the word about St. John's out in the community. A lot of times we hear we're one of the best kept secrets. Well, we don't want to be that secret anymore. So marketing is the fuel by which, and the tactics by which we can become a better known like entity in the community and what we do. And fundraising is just that. Development and fundraising is about raising money. Like it's about connecting with people who find an affinity for what we do and see us as the vehicle by which they can change lives and change the community. And so we're really excited about moving more intentionally in the fundraising area. We had a successful campaign back in May. We've been successful since COVID started with a lot of grants that we've written for. We're about to launch a successful micro campaign for Oasis. Well, Bessie and the team are already working on the campaign plan for the next quarter, which when you go into the last quarter of the calendar year, that is the biggest time to start fundraising and to see fundraising come in. More fundraising happens in the last calendar quarter of the year across all of philanthropy than any other time of the year. So it doesn't mean that necessarily we're going to see a huge spike in our giving because we have to get more donors in order to keep building our donor universe so that we can see more people give to the organization. So it really is a volume strategy in the sense of connecting with a lot of people that have affinity for what we do. And so you'll hear more about that. We've got there's 2 positions that we are hiring for, and we are onboarding them next week that will be involved with the development team. One person will work directly on the development team. Her role will be primarily raising gift-in-kind donations. These could be anything from furniture to household items to supplies, equipment, remote technology, enabling technology, whatever we kind of set our sights to. She'll be building partnerships in the communities that we serve, starting in New York in support of the shelter and the needs that they have for the people that they serve there. But then as she gets her legs under her, start to build capacity across the organization. And then the other individual we are hiring is a dual role. It'll be an executive administrator role for the leadership team, about 80%, 70 to 80%, and then about 20 to 30%. This individual will be doing database management for the donor development team, because as more people start to connect with St. John's, we need to track our interactions with them. We need to know how to communicate with them, what their preferences are, and the database drives that. And so both of these individuals are starting with the marketing team and the leadership team next week. And we'll probably introduce them at Town Hall, and then Bessie will probably introduce the team generally so that you can start to understand who do I go to for what, with marketing and fundraising. But this is an example, going back to the original point, of how we are investing in capacity building initiatives that over the long run are going to be good for St. John's, build our capacity. This will help us build margin over time. So really excited to see where this goes. The other area that we're starting to move into with one of these positions is volunteerism, and how can we leverage the power of volunteers across the organization. So again, we'll start in New York, in Ithaca with the shelter that as a pilot, and then once we start building capacity there, we'll take what we learned there and start building capacity across the organization. And then just a continued update. So Advocates for All, if you've seen the latest Advocates for All, it was with Jackie Dossie. So please throw something in the chat if you got a chance to see that. I think we just got it up on Tuesday or Wednesday. Really great interview, and a special interview because Jackie is the mom of Kobe. And Kobe, we've been supporting Kobe since April of 2018 residentially in Martin, Tennessee. And Jackie had the experience of a lifetime when for the very first time, her iPad rang and it was Kobe's iPad and calling her. And for the first time ever in their relationship, and Kobe's 21 now, he called her on his own, which is just groundbreaking. It's ultimately life-changing. Up until that point, Kobe, or it was Jackie that would have to initiate, and she would call the house, contact the our direct support professional, and then they would connect with Kobe and they'd be able to communicate. But for the first time, Kobe called his mom, and he did that through the power of technology and through, most importantly, the staff advocating that he have the right tools and app to be able to communicate. And the staff working with him during COVID when no one was doing in-person therapy sessions, the staff, the team down there, they were the ones that advocated, and they kept helping Kobe figure out how to continue his therapy and how to be able to keep improving his communication. Kobe's autistic and is nonverbal. So this is an enormous accomplishment and celebration that we've had. And Jackie Dossia's mom is an incredible interview. She is a huge fan for St. John's for the work that we do. She actually works in disability services and has for a long time. And so she's interacted from her position with a lot of different agencies. And she spoke so highly of the team in Martin and St. John's in general for the work that we do with the people that we support, and specifically how much we advocate for and how much we care for the individual needs of the people we support. So check that out on Advocates for All. And then we'll be doing a special Advocates for All that will air, that will record today and will air next week. And that's with Adela just in a couple minutes. So I'll pause there for a second just to check out the chat, just to see if there's any questions. But are there any questions? If there are, feel free to throw them in the chat, or you can also, let's see, you can also take yourself off mute and go ahead and ask questions. I'm just quickly checking the chat. Lots of engagement, lots of chat going on today. Love that. Thank you. Okay, good. Thanks, Precious, for answering that question. Yes, marketing team is your cheerleader. Great way to put it. We're also your storyteller. We get to tell you, so we get to tell the great work that you're doing, like Kobe's story. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's awesome that you're looking to get involved with the marketing campaign. Certainly we will let people, as we get things going, we will let you all know, because you are our ambassadors. You are our greatest billboards and ambassadors. And so we want to arm you with the information you need to get that out there. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat, other questions. So I'm just gonna quickly check YouTube just to see if there's any questions there. Okay, all right. I don't see any questions there. So we are gonna go and we're gonna find Adela. Adela, are you out there somewhere? If you would, can you take yourself off mute? Let me first actually, yeah, everyone's muted. That's good. Okay. Is Adela with us today? Yes, I see her. All right. Adela, I think, do you have your mic on? I wonder if I can merge with audio. Okay, so I see that Adele is in the meeting, but I don't, Adele, it looks like you don't have an active mic. Another option would be for you to call in. You could use your video, but you could call in with your phone. And I'm wondering, just in case she can't hear me, I imagine she can hear me. But I'm wondering if there's someone that could reach out to her directly and help her. Oops, just lost what I wanted. Okay. Oh, thank you, Ryan, for doing that. So Adela, Ryan just put into the chat the dial by numbers. So if you don't have the mic working on your computer, you can certainly call in with your phone. And then we could also, if you could turn your video on, that'd be great. Oh, okay, so now she's got her mic. She just needs to unmute. We're getting there. Adela.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Could you see me? Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, all right.
Hey.
Awesome. Hey,
Yes. Hi.
welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Oh my God. I'm about to cry already.
Oh, goodness. We don't want that to happen unless they're tears of joy.
Tears of joy, of course.
Good. So, Adela, before we get started, I just wanted to kind of read a couple things, and then we'll have an opportunity a little bit for other people to chime in. But I mean, you have made such an impression. First, I just got to say that, 22 years, but you've made such a powerful impact on the lives of so many people. And here's just a few things. Dion, bro, thank you so much for being you. You are the perfect example of someone who loves unconditionally. SJCS will not be the same without you. Have a great retirement and know that we will miss you dearly. Kid, bro, thank you for providing quality services to the SJCS folks. Relax and have fun. You deserve it. There were so many people that jumped in when they heard that we wanted to honor you, and they'll have an opportunity to share their thoughts and perspective. Before we get to that, I was hoping that we could do kind of a short Advocates for All interview, because I think that you have an interesting story to tell about your time with us. And so do you mind if I press record and I'll introduce you and then I'll start asking you some questions. Does that sound like a plan?
Sure, sure.
Okay, all right. And everyone else is muted. Just double check everybody to make sure you're muted. That's great. Looks good. All right. Hi, everyone. It's Alan here with St. John's Community Services, and welcome to another episode of Advocates for All. And today, this is incredibly special. First of all, we're doing Advocates for All in the middle of our weekly town hall meeting with our team members across all of St. John's. And we've only done that one time before. So really, really excited. So if we've only done it one time before, it means that we're doing it again for a really, really, really special reason. And the special reason today is my guest, Adela Roll. And Adela is retiring, or has just recently retired from St. John's after 22 amazing years. And Adela, I just want to welcome you to Advocates for All. And first, I just want to say thank you so much for caring for the people that you've supported personally for 22 years, and the impact that you've had on so many lives, not just people we support, but the team members that you've worked with at all levels of the organization. So Adela, welcome and thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I am fine. Very honored to be here. Sad to say goodbye, but it's been a wonderful 22 years of service for the wonderful individuals at St. John's and the wonderful staff. It's like one big happy family. And I'm touched and honored to be part of St. John's family.
Adela,
I love you, precious.
She loves you too. Adela, what motivated you? Like, through the course of your time with St. John's, what caused you to care so much, and what motivated you to put so many years in the service of other people?
Well, at the age of 12, I began this. I was born in Trinidad, and we had a family, an Oriental family. They moved next to us, and they had a son. He had Down syndrome, and I took him under my wings. His parents took very good care of him, gave him everything he wanted, but teaching him, it was like, no, they didn't understand. So I took him under my wings. I taught him a lot. And from there, I just had a love and a passion for this. And he learned a lot, even to put on his shoes on the right feet and teach the fruits, the mangoes and different things. He learned quite a lot. And I just had a love and a passion for seeing the individuals we serve learn and grow and enjoy life to the fullest. St. John's family, They did a wonderful job with making sure the individuals had a meaningful life, like we all would like to do, enjoy life, vacations. John Jackson make sure they all had their celebrations, their birthday celebrations, their picnics, family picnics, and it was a real pleasure. And I'm not saying goodbye. I can be available for voluntary jobs
Excellent.
whenever.
We'll be in touch right away.
Yes, yes.
We've got lots of, we absolutely would love to have you stay connected and volunteer. I'm going to share my screen because I think if I did this correct, I've got a few pictures here that there's a few, can you see that, Adela?
Yes.
These are a few pictures that were sent in of you in action. And I think a consistent in almost all of them is somebody is smiling, and you are about the other person. You are about what they are doing, so it's wonderful to see. I mean, to see that, and these are just a few photos of you in action that sum up, your entire career. This is what you were doing. You were always about other people and whatever their needs were and how they could improve their lives and how, like you said, they could live it to the fullest. I love the one, vote here. That's awesome, because we especially want to be helping people self-advocate and help them be able to express their thoughts through voting. So, and this year will be a big year for that because of the general election, but just some precious photos of you in action and just really, just remarkable how you brought so much joy to other people. Do you remember when you first came to St. John's or how you got to St. John's?
Yes, I was recommended by someone, and I worked NCC before, and I hopped aboard with St. John's, and it was just love at first sight, meeting the individuals that they serve. And I am one that enjoy recreation facilities, taking them out, making sure they get all their needs and wants met. So it was not a job for me. It was more like a pleasure and a joy, watching them learn and grow. And Crystal enjoy her cooking programs very, very much. She learned a lot with the short time I was there. Well, no, short time is 22 years. It's been a while, but it's always is a pleasure, was a pleasure, has been a pleasure.
A couple questions for you. What were things, can you think of 2 or 3 things that either you learned along the way or were favorite memories of yours that will always stay with you?
Well, I learned that unconditional love. You give it and you get it back. And you learn that once you take your time, patience is very important because it takes a while for our individuals we serve to grasp certain things. And patience and love is truly important in this field.
I was going to ask you, in addition, what kind of advice you would offer to other people, ourselves, that work at St. John's, but people coming into either St. John's or this field, what are some, certainly the unconditional love and patience are key things. Are there other advice that you would offer us?
Continue doing the good job you're doing and work with the goals, make sure they achieve their goals. And we spend time with them so we know exactly what they're like. We would talk to them and see their likes and dislikes. And from them, we can develop their programs that they will enjoy and work towards making them achieve their goals. It's so important. And it's a joy to see when they achieve it. So work towards letting them achieve their goals and living a life to the best of their ability.
Do you have a so do you have a couple favorite memories of when you saw that take place? Like the people that you were working with? And I had to change my background there. Just, we sent that out.
Oh,
to other
thank you,
people.
Adele. That's cool. I feel so special. Wow.
But do you have a couple favorite memories of like when you saw somebody like achieve a goal that they had and you were there to celebrate it?
Yes. I remember Carl Nelson. Oh, he died. May he rest in peace. With setting the table, it took a while, and he was one that would punch you if he didn't agree with you in the way. And when he learned to set the table, it was like, yay, Carl. And even with Crystal, with her cooking program, her cooking her vegetables, then say, let's do meats now. And it was always a pleasure seeing them achieve their goals and enjoying their vacations. We took wonderful vacations together and wonderful picnics, wonderful fun times together. Good memories. In John's, we have good memories, and all the staff were wonderful. Antonio, Dr. Bird, Precious, Sean, Mr. Stanley, all my co-workers, they have been wonderful, 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 wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you. I think we managed to somehow get a gift basket to you by John.
Yes,
Jackson.
yes, yes. There it is.
So,
there it is.
It is
I'm
a
so
small
excited.
token of our gratitude to you for all that you've done. And we are you are one of our best and brightest and a role model for all of us. And your lessons on unconditional love and patience, we will all take that to heart. So I just want to say thank you for being such an advocate, and thank you for being such a role model to us. And feel free to open the basket if you would like, or you can save it.
Yes. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. I'm ripping it off. I'm so excited. Oh my God. Oh, it looks like all of my favorite things are in here.
We may have had some help.
Oh, I will be sitting on the beach with my cups with some ginger ale, of course.
Of course.
And out there. Oh my God. Candles.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
My jacuzzi. I'm going to be relaxing. Oh, wow. Hand sanitizer, which we need all the time.
For sure.
Oh, potpourri.
It looks like it was well wrapped.
Yeah, it is. Oh, what's in here? Wow. I'm so excited.
That's awesome. Well, Adela, I just want to say thank you again. Thank you for taking time to do this interview. And I'm gonna
my immune system.
I'm gonna press pause and stop our recording, but then I'm gonna ask other people to join in on the other side of that. So stay with us, okay?
Sure.
All right, thank you, Adela.
You're welcome. Wow.
Okay, so I paused the recording. I do really want to open it up. I know that Precious wanted to share something. So if you would like to share something with Adela, please go ahead, take yourself off mute. And we just want to thank her and wish her well. But I think, Precious, you had reached out and offered to say something. So are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Awesome.
Miss you, Precious. I finally did it. I've been saying so for the past 2 years, haven't I?
Well, at least 15 years. She kept saying, I'm going to retire, and then never did it.
Yes.
So I have
the love I've gotten from you all. Every time I come to the office, I could come in and talk to you, get some advice, give some advice. You always open your door and welcome me. And that love you all had for me, Antonio too. Oh my gosh. When I started watching this first and I saw Antonio was sick. Oh my God, I cried so much and I called my praying partners. I said, come on, you're gonna get out of this. So you deserve that shield, Antonio. Put me back.
So I have very fond memories of Adela, of course, and she's sharing. We've always had, we've been kindred spirits since the day I met her. When I arrived at St. John's now 18 years ago,
Wow.
I know, right? I needed to go around and meet everybody and definitely orientate to the locations and everything. And there was a core group of staff that did that for me. And so Adela was the one staff that she made sure that I knew every single thing about every single person that we supported. She was like, no, you have to make sure you do this. You have to make sure you do that. And we spent like a week together, her showing me giving me the fine details I need to ensure that people were living their best life. And she told me, she said, look, if you're gonna be the director, you must ensure that you make sure they live good. And I said, okay, I will make sure that they live good. I will make sure. She said, okay, I'm going to hold you accountable for that, Precious. So I said, okay, I will. I said, okay, hold me accountable. And she has ever since. I've had the pleasure of taking the folks we support on vacation with Adela, and we would have such a good time. She is one that is really a shadow giver. She stands in the backdrop while we make sure that people stand in the forefront, living out their best life. And I am particularly moved by the work she's done with the family of 3 that we support. This is a family of 3 that came to us from a very, very traumatic background. They were definitely not in a good space. All 3 of them have autism and don't usually respond in a two-way conversation style of communication, and nor do they like somebody being in their space. Adele is the one person who has broken down those barriers. And when I observed her with the one young lady, usually she responds, the field might call it echolalic, she just repeats what you say. But with Adele, they're having a two-way conversation the entire time. And I was floored when I saw that. And when I saw her take them out, like they would go to church, they would do all these different things in the community. Adele would also come when she was off to come pick them up and take them out into the community. And she was phenomenal. When I saw that this young lady was having a back and forth conversation and allowed Adele within her personal space, and they would dress up for every event, to head to toe, they would dress up and look fierce. Let anyone in the group come and challenge them on how fly they look, they could not, because Adele made sure they always looked the best in any event. So I am honored to have witnessed that, because that would be, that was what we live for, is to see that happen. And Adele made that happen. And I know for a fact that those guys are missing her tremendously, and I know that they will miss her being there every single day with them. But I cannot celebrate any success or any happenings in DC specific without naming Adele. So I thank you, and I'm honored to have been with you for 18 of your 22 years. I love you tremendously. And thank you on behalf of the people we support. Thank you. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too. Love you too. Love you too. Love you all. Am I doing this right? I'm a old lady now. I'm watching all my beautiful gifts. Oh my goodness. Everything is so beautiful, lovely, everything I need. Wow.
Is there anybody else that would like to share?
Yes. I like to share.
Right. Antonio.
I've been with St. John.
Antonio!
Hey.
Yo.
I've been with St. John's for like 13 years. And I remember coming to St. John's as a new nurse and meeting Adele with the individuals. And, as a nurse, we come there to train them on the health passport, the meal protocols, and stuff like that.
Hey, Dion.
But when I came to the house with Adele, and she very sternly but professionally told me, said, I know you didn't nurse and all, but I've been with these individuals and I'm gonna tell you how it works. So I was like, okay, And so she taught me a lot, coming in, not knowing them. I thought I was going in as the teacher, but I was actually the student. But I could say I love her from the bottom of my heart. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, but she's one of the good staff, for real.
Thank you,
And,
Antonio, for sharing your heart there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, she's really great with the individuals, like really live great lives like we all do. Like she treats them like real people. I appreciate that. And even though they, they can't speak, but they do speak to you. I just want to say thank you for them and thank you from my heart for your service here. It was great.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Hi, Dion. I miss you too, Dion.
Hey, I just want to say real quick, we love you so much, so much.
Thank you.
And on that volunteer situation, we will take you up on that. You know that, right?
Yes, because you know what? I always take them to vote. So I told John, when the time comes, I will be there because I live 8 minutes from their home. So we take 321 and 317 to vote. For the past 12 years, we've been taking them. And, they enjoyed it. They enjoyed it. I really miss them already. I dropped by and I promised them I'm going to cook some curry chicken and rice and peas and bring for them. Because the off days when we have on our menu, freestyle, they got that. And Aaron would come downstairs as he smelled the curry and sit down on the table ready to eat. And I turn my back. When I turn back, oh, this plate is empty already. I promised them I'm going to bring some of that good curry chicken and rice and peas for them. But I really miss them. That's my second family. St. John is my second family. And it was such a pleasure working with them. I really miss them,
Hello there.
Yes.
This is Emmanuel.
Hey, Manuel.
How are you today, Miss Adele?
Hey, good, my buddy. Yeah. I see you, Manuel.
Yes. My name is Emmanuel Balogun. Actually, I work with Adela for almost over 3 years right now. I, as a person, will personally miss Miss Adele because of her sacrificial spirit. She's humble to a fault, and she accommodates all that comes her way. She's caring and a loving mother, and a true worker to work with. She knows her job very well, and she's very selfless, and she has a true team spirit. I see her as a true mother who would rather, see to it that everything is well with everybody, especially the doing right, our clients, which she has taken which she has taken as part of the family, or her as a fellow worker will really miss her and a good-natured spirit. And my prayer for her as she retires is for God to grant her divine health, longevity, bless her and her family beyond measures. Thank you, Ms. Adele, for rendering your service to St. John's Community Service. We all miss you. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. I saw Steve back there. Where is Steve?
Where is Steve?
Hey, Adele.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Miss you.
I just want to say you are going to be so missed. Anytime you were there, we always knew something would be handled and wouldn't have problems with it. So I'm just glad that you were there to even coach the new staff that are there, that they can learn from you how to really take care and support somebody in the way that you did. So I just want you to enjoy your retirement or whatever you're going to be doing, just have fun and make the best of it. Now it's time for you to live your best life.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't see Sherry. Where is Sherry? Hey, Sherry. Sherry's not there. And Mr. Stanley, he's not on.
Hi, Miss Adela.
Hi.
I just wanted to say it was a pleasure working with you. And you always took care of Varna. And you always took care of my house for me.
Yes.
I just want to say that I love you. You take care and you enjoy life.
Thank you, Teresa. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. I wish I didn't have to retire now, but
You don't have to. You don't
Yeah,
have
you
to.
don't. You don't.
Well, you know, I'm almost 2 years from 70, and I'm gonna go and relax on the beach, Jamaica, Trinidad, wherever.
Yes.
I'm doing some gardening now. I'm doing some gardening now with the help of my grandson. So I'm kind of taking. I have to take it easy though, because you know I have to do it. Yeah.
Adele, this is Kwaku.
Hey Quack. Oh, hey Kwaku. Long time.
Long time. So
Yeah.
I just want to say, you know, everybody's already talked about it. Just for people to have context, you know, Adele worked in a home that was really difficult. And my first tour, I was assigned to be a queue for persons we supported that lived in apartments. So I was like, okay, that was one thing. And then on the tour, they said, well, you have to see one of the homes that we have. And I went and I met Adele, and she was working with a lot of difficult people to support, but she's always smiling. She was always happy. The people that she was talking about behavior specialists and psychologists. Those were all the people that was on speed dial, because those people had a lot of support needs. And I just want to say, you are just a class act. You always smiled. You always treated everybody with the same level of love, the same level of respect. It didn't matter what your title was. So, and you even helped me make a decision in regards to what I did in my career based on the way I saw how you treated everybody. So I want to say thank you, and that's it. You're a class act.
You're welcome. It was, as I said, it was a pleasure. I enjoy my job immensely, very, very much. I couldn't have asked for a better job. I enjoy what I did very, very much. And I wish I could continue. They're my hearts. They're my family. St. John's is my next family, and my family knows it too, you know, because the love we go. And the church is gonna miss them, but when church open back, the staff can bring them. We'll do the social distancing, because they were part of the family of our church also. Crystals and Aaron's and Al. But Aaron stopped going after a while, because when his mother passed and he saw her after so many years, he got fearful of getting into church. So he stopped going to church. But they always asked for Crystal and Alpheus. And we had some good times and bad times, more good times, because we would work it out all the time. You know, we will work it out. We will make it happen for them to be happy and enjoy their lives to the fullest. And we did enjoy our lives. The cruises, I miss that. Oh, if you need volunteers for that, I'll be there. Vacations. Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a good plan. So just, you know, just in bringing our time to a close, you know, just, it's clear just the impact that you've made and the legacy that you have left with St. John's and the role model that you are. And again, on behalf of all St. John's, we just say thank you. And we hope that you do go and live your best life, and at the same time stay in touch, and we will definitely take you up on volunteering. So I love your earrings, by the way. Absolutely love those.
Thank you. Power to the people. Power to the people.
So,
and thanks for the wonderful gifts. Oh, I got so many wonderful things. Oh,
you're very welcome.
And my grandson is eyeing my candy and my cookies. Thank you very much. I will enjoy every bit of this. Wonderful.
Good.
Thank you very much. All the love I got from everyone.
Awesome.
I miss everybody, especially Miss Maya Brown. Oh, you're so sweet.
So
You're the best. And I know when you started there, I saw a lot of people come and go, managers and directors, but I know when you came in, you made such a big difference and a big impact. I know you were going to be there for the long run. And God is good. God is good. God is in control. And I heard Clive is gone and Rita, may they rest in peace, because I worked with them before. They will be missed, but when God say time is up, it's up. And well, you know, I was ill in November, and I'm here, still weak, but I'm here, getting stronger by God's grace daily.
we'll keep
Love you all.
stronger.
Love you all. Let me do this thing. Let me try this again.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
I don't think I'm doing it right.
Dion, you're not doing it right. Look, I'm an old head. I think I'm getting it now. I'm getting it. Precious, get it. There's my grandma. Say hello.
All right, so for those that want to hang out, you're welcome to. And I'm just going to bring our meeting officially to a close, but anybody wants to sit and chat for a few minutes, I'll hang out for a couple minutes. Thank you all. Adele, thank you for a very special time. This last half hour has been awesome. And thank you for all you've done. And we will miss you, but we will stay in touch. So
A pleasure.
Thank you for joining our town hall today, everybody. Have a great weekend, whether you're heading into shift or whether you're coming out the end of a long week. I thank you for all that you're doing in support of the people that we care about so much. Thank you for making our mission happen, and thank you for making the dreams come true of the people that we're serving. And thank you for keeping them safe. So be safe yourself, and have a great weekend, everyone. Talk to you soon.